What's the clack? What's the bleeding story? With me, mate, Brandon here, True Gunners TV. Hope everyone's good and keeping well. And I haven't been on in a few days. I was just away, just telling Brandon that, and I didn't want to come back. By the way, by the looks of things, just watching the match and stuff like that. Pretty pathetic. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Bit like you, mate. You have a poor performance like that, you just want to go and hide in a corner somewhere and just, hibernate and never come back out again. But it is what it is. It's Arsenal. They're never going to change, are they? Let's be real.
Oh, stop! I was away and I was just there grand. It was just grand to relax and sort of chill out. And then on the Sunday, and it was just like, right, I'm feeling it today. I was thinking 2, maybe 3-0 or something like that. Jesus Christ, how wrong was I? What did you make of it anyway? What's the story?
I actually came out after the Liverpool game and said that I didn't think we would beat Burnley. I mean,
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I could see this coming already straight away. Purely and simply because we struggled to break teams down, and Burnley, we always knew they was coming to the Emirates just to get a point. Really, they was always going to set up and be hard to break down and a tough team to beat, and that's exactly what they came with. And it's pretty ironic actually, because after the game, Aaron Ramsdale did say we knew what Burnley were going to do, and I just look at it and I think, well, anybody who's played football at a decent level, anybody who's managed at a decent level, knows that in order to break teams down like that, who throw 10 men behind the ball, you have to move the ball quickly. And we didn't do that for a whole entire first half. We just wasted the entire first half. Second half, we started it on the back foot. Burnley were coming out, creating a few chances of their own. And then we had like a 10, 15-minute spell where we did move the ball quickly. And we did start to create a few chances and have a few shots on goal. Lacazette had 2 great chances to put the ball in the back of the net, failed to do so. But there was one player for me that kind of instigated all of that and was showing that bit of extra energy, that bit of extra quality. And that was Emil Smith-Rowe. And then Arteta goes and takes him off and brings on Eddie Nketiah. And I'm thinking, like, mate, what are you doing? What are you doing? I turned the game off on 80 minutes, mate, because when Eddie Nketiah came on, and this is no disrespect to the kid at all, but let's be honest, he's not good enough. And not only that, after watching him for about 15, 20 minutes, I knew we weren't going to score, mate. So I just thought, turn this shit off now. I can't watch any more of this. I really can't. And complete disappointment, mate. But I called it. I knew it was going to happen because Arsenal tend to fold under the pressure. And of course, Manchester United won their game, the day before. The pressure's on Arsenal to pick up the 3 points. We're in a healthy position to finish in top 4. And we always fail to do that, mate. We always capitulate at the most important moment. So I saw it coming, mate. I saw it coming straight away.
Yeah, it was just, for me, as I was saying, I was away and the game was on, and I was just obviously looking at it, but not listening to the commentating or anything like that of it. But I was still, I didn't call it at all. I was, my match prediction, I didn't do any, but I was thinking 2, maybe 3-0, and we get a nice buzz because we have the break coming up and stuff like that. Look, I was wrong. I'm always seems to be wrong with this, you know what I mean? But anyway, just as the game was going by, I think it was when, remember, we were peppering their goal and Lacazette, I think, took the volley. And when that didn't go in, I said, we're not scoring today. I said, they might score. I was just to myself, and I was with family and friends and stuff like that. And I didn't want it to annoy me. So I was just, they knew I was itching to just go over, stand in front of the telly and actually punch the screen in. But look, we can't do that in public or anything like that. But yeah, I just think when Laka took the volley, never mind the sitter, he completely bags up. But when he missed that sitter, I just says to myself, we're not scoring today. We're throwing everything here at it, let's say, and it's not happening. But oh Jesus Christ, it's so frustrating, and I'm so fucking annoyed, and I'm gonna give it that, and that's how much annoyed I am. I'm just so annoyed because we could see this coming back in November. You know what I mean? Easily back in the summer, like even the Arteta's in and outs and whatever. But then people like knew it back then. It's just we knew we were short in midfield and we're going selling midfielders, and there's no one there like coming through. Let's say that you can say, right, Maitland-Niles is gone. Like we have this young fella coming in, or like we have this lined up or something like that. And we're just like, what club does that? Do you know what I mean? Like what club does that? Like any club that we're linked with a player, it's always, oh yeah, they're going to sell them when they get their replacement. Not us. No. We will just sell our players. It doesn't matter. And like the Burnley game just showed it completely, exactly what we're left with. You know what I mean? Like we're left with like players. Some of them just don't want to play with us. Why isn't Guendouzi back? You know what I mean? He walks into this team. Torreira walks into the team in midfield, but yet again we're just left with Sambi Lokonga in on his own and getting found out. You know what I mean? The young guy can't learn his trade, get used to the league. You know what I mean? Like it's still only his first few months at the club, and the pressure that this manager is putting him under it's not fair on him as development as a player. You know what I mean? Get him into a few games, get him stuck in, and you learn your trade and stuff like that. But come on, man. You know what I mean? How long do Arsenal supporters have to stick this absolute shit? I'm just, I don't know. It's just doing me head in me.
The unfortunate thing is a lot of them are still staunch Arteta supporters, and I don't know what it is, mate. People just, they can't recognise PR. You know what I mean? Like I'm a manager of a business, so I know what PR is. I know when you're trying to sell something, and sometimes you lie about it. And Arsenal, they've been liars for years and years. Even back when we was, Arsene Wenger days, he lied to us for years about selling players, buying players. Fourth is a trophy and all this bollocks. It just lied his way through it. And Arteta's very, very similar in that way. Lying through it. They called it a youth project in the summer, mainly to get the fans off their case, because they know we call it a youth project, and we say, oh, it's a 2 or 3 year project and it's going to take time, and we buy a load of young players. The fans ain't going to get on their backs as much because it's a project and they're young players, so they won't take too much flack, and we won't take too much flack. And it's just like, oh, mate, we've waited for so long. For so long. I mean, we moved to the Emirates to compete, and we're now a mid-table club, is what I'd describe as, because that's what we are. And I mean, that Burnley game, mate, like even down to his tactics, it's like so frustrating because, as I said, we didn't move the ball quick enough in the first half. We did it for 10, 15 minute spell. We started to create chances. Then we sort of fell off again. Mainly because he brought Smith Rowe off, who was the most dangerous player in that second half, and brought on Eddie Nketiah. But then the thing that I look at the most is, what's one thing you don't do against Burnley? Throw crosses in the box. That is one thing you don't do against Burnley. They're a tall team. We're not really a tall team. We don't, tend to get many players in and around the box when we're in the final third. But yet we're crossing balls in, like, Lacazette's going to get on the end of a header above Tarkowski. Like, it's not going to happen.
Right. Seriously. Like, what was he expecting? Like, is Arteta thinking that fucking Lacazette's a new salmon out of fucking fresh water? Get up. You know what I mean? Seriously. Like, him of all people should know this. He sees them every day in training. He knows their limits. He knows that, especially against Burnley, or probably, I don't know, I'm going to say it, but probably one of the best defensive, aerial stuff coming into the box. You know what I mean? They're pretty good at that, and they're roughing up our players. And our tactic is just to swing it in. Come on, seriously. Like, fuck me. Like, And then this PR, as you says there, the PR fucking machine then rolling out going, oh yeah, Man City could be interested in Arteta. Do me a favor. Will you do me a favor? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, no, I hardly think so. But look, PR, yeah, is it Miguel's PR or the club's PR or what? They're probably looking to see, like, maybe someone will panic and try to buy him out of his contract so they don't have to pay out his, like, of sacking him or something like that. And I see that he's over with Stan and Josh in America at the minute, and he's flying to Dubai on Wednesday, tomorrow. But wouldn't it be funny if they sacked him? Come over here, you're fucking gone. But yeah, I doubt that very much. He's getting wined and dined over there, as far as I know.
Yeah,
but
he's getting wined and dined, and he should be over here signing some fucking players. Is what he should be doing.
This is like. First of all, when the January window opened, okay, they knew that they're going to have this break, plus the big week they had with the FA Cup, the League Cup, and then Spurs, but obviously the Spurs game didn't get played. So we have a big game there. Let's get a player or two, whatever we need, whatever they think they need, in before like that all starts. No, that didn't happen. We're still holding our breath, waiting for it to happen. No, still hasn't happened. Okay. Then I was thinking maybe they'll have a player just before they get on the plane to Dubai. It's a nice team bonding, get to know the player and get them settled in to know the people. No, that hasn't happened because the plane's leaving tomorrow, isn't it? Or are they gone already? I don't fucking know. But seriously, it's a joke of a club at the minute. An absolute joke. And don't give me all these fucking Arteta in clowns that think that magically we're going to finish in the top 4, because I can guarantee you we won't. Like what way is this club being run at the minute? Seriously, someone needs to fucking cop the fuck on and say, hold on, this is the way it should be fucking run, because people are not doing their job in the club and they're making an absolute show of us.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And yeah, it's the fan base makes it even worse, mate, doesn't it? Let's be honest. I mean,
yeah,
we're talking about, for the past 25 days, fans have been having a wank fest over Dusan Vlahovic, and now he's going to Juventus, and now all of a sudden it's oh no, don't matter about Dusan now, don't matter about him. We're moving on to the next one, which is Alexander Isak, and all of a sudden he's the best thing in the world. Like, why are these fans not why are these fans not sitting on social media and berating this manager and the technical director? I have no idea, mate. I really don't, because there's only 6 days left in the window. And if we're being real, any player that we bring in now, it's a panic buy, because we've spent 25 days chasing a player that don't even want to join. Like, what a waste of time.
Like, surely they should have even had a deadline or a limit saying, hold on, mate, you're not fucking us around. We're the Arsenal Football Club. You know what I mean? This is your deadline day. If you don't meet it, see you, we're off, goodbye, and then go for someone else or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? But no, we're Arsenal. We're not going to do that. I just want to read out a comment or two here. Arteta can only coach a defensive structure and not very good at that. Moyes is seemingly more defensive known coach, has more goals. And there you are. Like, I would actually take any manager in the Premier League now over Arteta and Edu. I want the two of them fucking out the door. I don't want to see them anymore, because like, they would easily do a better job than this. There's too many stupid mistakes being made. If it's not transfers, it's on the pitch. If it's not, like, behind the scenes, it's like, like this commentator, Lakas 5'10", Ben Mead Tarkowski is 6'9". Who decides to start spraying the ball in? You know what I mean? Who comes up with this? Surely you should be studying your team. You know what I mean? The next opposition. No, not us. We're just joking around, it seems. Well, Mikel, come over to me ranch here in fucking Colorado. Come over and we go and watch the NFL and all these fucking stuff. Nothing to do with the club. No. don't. No, it's not. It's a bad idea to stay at home and try to sign a few players that we're very short on. Don't do that. Whatever you do, no, come over to Colorado. Oh, winding me up, man. You know, and the whole like as you says there, the Vlahovic is best striker in Europe at the minute. Oh, he's fucking brilliant. Yeah, he probably is, but he's gone to Juventus. We all knew that. You know what I mean? He's just holding out for Juventus, holding out, and he's going to probably more than likely get his move. And yeah, we're going now for your man in that Isaac guy. His stats don't look that good. I know in the Euros, and you see this thing. I was watching, I think it was your man, that fucking Charlie Watts or someone like that. And I had written down, oh yes, his stats are this, right? I think there's 9 goals in 25 games or something like that so far. Not great, you know what I mean? It's not warranted all this 50 million or whatever that hell the price is. Like, no, but anyway, it showed the stats. Hasn't scored in 5 games, but Gary Lineker says he was one of the best strikers he's seen in Europe at the Euro. Oh, well, if Gary Lineker said that, please sign him. You know what I mean? He had 1 good game. I also know another player, and he fucking plays for our club, who had 1 good game in the Euros, and everyone thinks he's Jesus Christ on a football pitch. Xhaka. Remember that? He played 1 good game, was it against France or whoever the fuck it was? And the people are bigging him up. Like, do me a favour, Arsenal fans, please wake up. It's just beyond a joke at the minute. You know?
Yeah. It's like with the Dusan Vlahovic thing. It's like the best analogy for me is we thought we could put on the big boy pants, but we're still pissing the bed, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like we think we can go in for these top class players.
You know, the huggy pull-ups, the little nappies.
It is, mate. It is. We thought that because of our history and because of our name that we could go there and convince this guy to come to Arsenal. We ain't that team anymore. We're a mid-table club. You know, players nowadays, they don't look at history. I mean, the guy's 21 years old. He's never seen Arsenal win a league title ever. Do you know what I mean? So he's not going to really look at history. Yeah, he'll look at the great players that played for Arsenal. But players these days they're going to look and they're going to go, right, which club is going to make, number 1, me a better player? Number 2, offer me regular Champions League football. And number 3, show a bit of ambition. And all 3 of them, Arsenal don't do. Okay, you could say because we've gone in for this guy, we've showed a little bit of ambition. But when you deep it, if you're Dusan Vlahovic and you're in his shoes, you're looking at that manager, Mikel Arteta, and you're thinking, right, well, he's dashed out Aubameyang, who, 3 years ago was the guy who was rescuing this club with his goals because of a falling out. He's dashed out their most expensive signing, record-breaking signing, Nicolas Pepe. He's dashed out Saliba because he had a little bit of an attitude problem. And he dashed out Guendouzi. Well, in my eyes, if you're a big-time player, if you're a player who knows your ability is good and you know that you're going to be one of the top strikers in the world football in the future, you're going to have a little bit of a what's it called? I've lost the word now. You're going to have a little bit of
something about you, like you're going to
have a little bit of arrogance about you. And it seems to me like any player who is a little bit like that, this manager falls out with, and then they're exiled from the team. So he's probably sat there thinking, well, I don't want to end up like Aubameyang. I don't want to end up like Pepe. I don't want to end up like Guendouzi and Saliba. So, nah. And then he's also looking at Arsenal and thinking, well, they can't offer me regular Champions League football. They're struggling to get there as it is. And then on top of that, what makes it even worse is we're trying to convince this guy to sign for the club. And then we open the calendar year with 5 games, no wins. So that ain't going to convince him, is it?
Yeah, exactly. But like even like that, the players that you're just naming there, like the guy is only here 2 years and he's already fallen out with that many players in a squad. Is just ridiculous. Let's be honest about it. Like, and that, like, if you're in, we'll say, a school, whatever, you know what I mean? Let's say you're in college or something like that, and there's 30, 40 people in your class, and you've already fallen out with in 2 years, what, 5, 6 people? You would be considered a fucking arsehole. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And
yeah,
like the thing about it is, see with the likes of Guendouzi, okay? Mourinho, when he came to Chelsea for the first time, when he had that arrogance and he had, his swagger, and he goes and he wins the league after his first or second year of being at Chelsea. He had big characters because Chelsea had big money. They had superstars at their team because they were buying them all in. So there had to be that, you know, swagger or whatever, of a manager. I think if Mourinho had Guendouzi, see the way, right? Okay, you would have given him a slap on the wrist and say, "Hold on, mate, chill out, relax. You're still only young. Drop him a few games, and then sort of right, come off the naughty step. How are you getting on? Have you learned your lesson? I'm the manager. I picked the team. You have to train, play well, and then I'll think about picking you." But Arteta, now we don't know the ins and outs of what happened, but that's what should have been done, because at the end of the day, he's dealing with a young fella who has the potential to go on and win the World Cup with France as a player, a midfielder, so a World Cup winner. Because France, let's be honest, are a brilliant international team. You know,
top managers can deal with players that have a bit of an ego, and Mikel Arteta can't deal with players with egos, mate. He goes, oh no, he's got a bit of an ego. Oh no, we'll dash him out. And the reason for that is because Arteta himself is a self-righteous, fucking arrogant prick, and he thinks he knows best all the time, and that is what that is. But I've got a solution to our striker problem. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, but we need a striker. We need a striker. Oh, we need a striker." And now everybody's, all on this Alexander Isak hype.
yeah.
Well, I checked out his stats as well, and I did a little video on my channel yesterday about it. And if you compare his stats in the league this season and compare Aubameyang's stats to his, they're identical. Aubameyang scored 4 goals, created 1 assist in 14 matches that he's played in the league. Isak has played 18 games, scored 4 goals and created 1 assist, and he's playing in a worse league. And I'm not saying the kid, because he is a kid, let's be honest, he's an up-and-coming striker talent, but he's not ready-made now. And Arsenal fans are getting giddy over it. And I'm thinking, well, we still got an opportunity. Okay, we drew at Burnley, but we still got an opportunity to get in the Champions League this season, the top 4. This guy is not going to come in and start bagging goals left, right, and centre, because he has to settle into the league to begin with. He's still only a young man, and that's a lot of pressure to put on his shoulders. But then we've got a 250 grand striker exiled from the team who knows the Premier League, who, he's had a poor season this season, but he's a ready-made goal scorer. And if you're counting on somebody to score you 5, 6, 7, 8 important goals, Aubameyang's your guy. I guarantee you that if them 2 chances that fell to Lacazette against Burnley fell to Aubameyang, at least one of them's in the back of the net. Even a half-finished Aubameyang is doing better with them chances than Lacazette. Can we say that about this kid? We don't know. He might come in and he might be absolutely excellent. He might hit the ground running straight away, but then he might not. And then it's a £70 million waste for what we need right now. Probably a good investment in the future, but we're not thinking about the future. It's almost like the Arsenal are already thinking about the future, like the season's over. We've still got an opportunity to get in the top 4 now. So bring in players that can do it now.
It's a great point, because even when you, at least we know Aubameyang can score in the Premier League. You know what I mean? Could this Isak guy get hit in the face by the Burnley defence and score goals? I don't think so.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you look back in the history books as well, we've seen better strikers from foreign leagues come into the Premier League and flop. Andriy Shevchenko, Diego Forlan,
West,
Radamel Falcao. You know, you could even put Fernando Torres in there. Not when he was at Liverpool, but when he was at Chelsea.
yeah.
Better strikers than this guy, and they've flopped. So what makes this guy special? And not only that, I also looked into this guy a little bit more as well, Isaac. He was actually part of Borussia Dortmund. He played for Borussia Dortmund for a short spell. He was only a young lad at the time anyway. But they got rid of him. Now, that tells me something, because Borussia Dortmund are the one team where they're a good team to use as a yardstick when investing in young players and academy players, because like they don't tend to get things wrong very often. I mean, look, they brought in Erling Haaland, and he's been absolutely phenomenal for them. Jude Bellingham, who was actually at Birmingham City playing in the Championship at the time, has been phenomenal for them. And they get them at a cheap price, and then they sell them on for a profit. So for Borussia Dortmund to say, actually, we're going to let this kid go, tells me, is he really that good? Do you know what I mean? Is he really that good?
Yeah, that's a great point. Like, you know, it's because you will, like Sancho and the German team sort of go to England as well. Like, you know, they're picking sort of from that pool now, and they're hoping that, you know, maybe we'll get a gem and sell them off for big money. Like, you know, even Dembele, you know, went to Barcelona for over 100 million. You know, they're very clever and shrewd in that way, and they get rid of Isaac, and you know, and the stats are sort of reading and telling. You know what I mean? Like, who else would you like to go for, or would you take a Diego Costa? I know it's lastminute.com, but I think that's going to be a lastminute.com deal we're going to get either way.
If he was a few more years younger, I probably would have done, purely and simply just for the shithousery that he brings.
Yeah. You know,
no, I don't think Diego Costa's the one. I think if we're going to go and invest in a young striker, who has potential, who could well do it now, I think you've got to look a bit closer to home. And I look at it like this, right? Liverpool, when they started rebuilding under Klopp, the reason why they are where they are now is because they mainly invested in players that are Premier League proven already. You know, Andy Robertson, Sadio Mane, Gini Wijnaldum, even Salah. You know, I know Salah was at Roma, but he had Premier League experience before.
Yeah.
And when you sign players that already know the league, are already up to speed with the league, and, you know, are half decent anyway, it's easier to make them better players. But when you sign players from foreign leagues and you don't know how they're going to settle in, like, for example, Pepe hasn't really settled in very well at Arsenal, but cost an awful lot of money. And it's like, I look at it like that. I think maybe we need to invest a bit closer to home. Maybe we need to start looking at who's the best player in the Premier League that's gettable, that doesn't play for us. And you've got to look at the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and maybe even Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney. And these players that are very, I would say, underrated, considering, you know, a lot of Arsenal fans go, yeah, but Ollie Watkins, he don't score goals. Yeah, but look at the team that he's playing in. Do you know what I mean? They're like bottom half of the table. You got Ivan Toney at Brentford. Look at the players that he's surrounded by. What, you expect him to be bagging hat-tricks every week?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Right. And even Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's in the same situation at the moment. Everton are an absolutely abysmal side at the moment. So how do you expect this guy to be, you know, bagging goals week in, week out? But if you surround him by quality, like Smith Rowe, Saka, even Odegaard, proper quality that can feed him, it could be a different story. Or he could come to Arsenal and flop. But either way, I'd rather take a risk on the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Ollie Watkins, somebody who's already up to speed with the Premier League, than take a risk with a young kid whose goal scoring record isn't that great, and we don't even know if he's going to settle into the league.
Yeah, like brilliant, but I can't disagree with that 100% because it's Arsenal have always been like that. They always seem, oh, we're better. We can't sign these players in the English leagues or whatever. Like like I remember years ago, and go back when Tevez was starting with and Mascherano was at West Ham. Oh no, we can't sign them. What was their Premiership experience like? How did they get on? Did Tevez win the league? Mascherano went off to Barcelona as well. And they're just two players. There was so many players, but it just seems that Arsenal are very, we couldn't sign another player from another English team. It's disrespectful. And it's, for me, like the way the English game is going, look at Vardy, for example. He goes down to the lower leagues. He went through loan spells and look, like, he's a Premier League winner. He's won medal more than any Arsenal player in our squad. But no, it's a bit, no, can't go down there. Can't go down that road. What about it doesn't have to be just an English player. Bissouma of Brighton. I'm screaming out for this guy because I just know that he is exactly what we need in midfield beside Partey. If we get him and Partey clicking, you are it's such a good advantage to have. You know what I mean? It'll put your mind at ease because remember years ago when we, El Munia in goal and there was no settled forced team keeper. Straight away, our defense is just there going, oh Jesus Christ, it's going back to this clown. What's he going to do? It goes in between his legs, and you just lose confidence. We have it now with Ramsdale in goal. Our defense, Gabriel, will he come good? He's a bit up and down at the minute, but it just by signing that one player things can start to click together. Because even with Liverpool, they were still short in the defense, and they got Van Dijk. He sewed everything up at their whole back five, and what I mean is the goalie included. He just gave them confidence to say, right, Van Dijk is there if I mess up, or clean everything up. And it's just, they're the type of players, they're in the league already. You don't need to look that far. And it's not going to take a whole lot of money or a whole lot of persuading, because these players that are in the Premier League that are, let's say, in a lower down club, and no disrespect to any club, but I'm just saying lower down, they've been to the Emirates. They've been to the Emirates and they know what it's like, and they know what what Arsenal is about, rather than your man Vlahovic and whoever else, abroad, who haven't been to the Emirates, haven't seen the stadium, haven't tasted the atmosphere at the Emirates, or whatever. So why not? It's just frustrating the life out of me now. It's so fucking, it's such a head wreck. You know what I mean? It's just I'm a clown from Dublin. I'm not even in England. I've gone over to the games. I've gone to the Emirates loads of times. But I don't see Arsenal every day, and I can tell you what Arsenal need and what player would I think fit in okay. How could these Edu, Vinay, Garlic fucking head, and Arteta see this? They're with them every day. It's just the Cronkies are just we're what happens if they don't get Champions League this year? Surely there was a target for them. Right, we're going to spend this amount of money, the most spent in Europe all season, last season, in the summer, sorry. Surely they want a bit of bang for their buck, you know what I mean? And if they're not getting Champions League and it's just the Europa League, is that enough for them?
Who knows, mate? Who knows?
I know it's not enough for you, but, the fans that are blowing smoke up this fucking guy's arse need to be held accountable as well, because you look on Twitter yourself and you're seeing I've seen one guy, I'm not going to name his name, but he was Westwood and his elbow out and all this and his other tackle and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. So it's your failing. That was a fail for me, that game. So that failing was down to him doing that. Like, wake the fuck up and either fuck off and support someone else. Because I don't want you at our club. Because I want winners at our club. And I mean fans as well, demanding we win stuff. We challenge for the league. You know, we get in the Champions League and we're always in the Champions League. And we always get down to at least the last 16. This manager is breaking records left, right, and centre. All the wrong records. And these clowns are fucking talking about, oh, Westwood's arm was up. He nearly took his fucking head off. Do me a favour and fuck off. Like, to stop putting shite like that up on Twitter. You know, I just don't follow the clown straight away. I don't need to see that, like, you know, annoying. You know, but like, would you hold some of the fans accountable for this?
100%. 100%. There's always an excuse with Arsenal fans. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter who we play, what team we play. There's always, oh, it's the referee. Oh, it's the players. It's the fingers never pointed at Mikel Arteta. And you know what? A lot of people hate Lee Gunner, right? They hate Lee Gunner, which is fine. You know, that's your opinion of Lee Gunner. And I personally agree with a hell of a lot of what he says. And he said this quote to me the other day. Right? And it is spot on, absolutely spot on. There are only two variables that could change the trajectory of this club and where it is heading. One of them is the owners. Yeah? We know the owners ain't changing the trajectory of this club because they're, you know, they don't understand football. They're happy with how things are going. Clearly, otherwise they wouldn't be looking to offer this guy a new contract. The other variable that can change the trajectory of the club is the fans. If the fans make enough noise and complain enough, then the owners and the manager and everybody else has no choice but to appease the fans. No choice whatsoever. So if there was enough noise shouting about Arteta and how crap he is as a manager from enough fans, he would have to be sacked. That's just as simple as that. If people stopped going to the games because Arteta was manager and we weren't doing good enough in the transfer market, they would have to do something about it. But fans are they're too on this hype, on this PR, and but Arteta sat with Pep, so he must be great, and it's okay, Arteta, you know, you can finish 8th 2 seasons in a row, but you won an FA Cup, so we'll give you a new contract. Like, banter club, mate. Banter club, that is what we are. It's just that simple. But the fans, mate, the majority of them, they make it worse. And again, another thing that Lee pointed out is a lot of these fans that sit there on Twitter, a lot of these fans that even attend the games now, you know, they've never seen Arsenal win a league title. You know, I'm 26 and I've only just about managed to see Arsenal win a league title. So all these ones that are younger than me have never seen Arsenal win a league title. So they don't know what standards the Arsenal should be setting. They ain't got a clue. They think that top 4 is where Arsenal should be because Arsene Wenger repeatedly said top 4 is a trophy. No, they're not. No, it's not. Back in the day, it used to be Arsenal versus Manchester United for the title. Every single season. Not Man City and Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester United. And we used to be fighting on all fronts as well in every single competition. None of this, we lost to Nottingham Forest, but it's okay. We can concentrate on the League Cup and the top 4. And then we lose to Liverpool in the League Cup. Oh, it's okay. Top 4 was the main aim anyway. And then we draw against Burnley and it's okay. I didn't expect to finish in the top 4 with this manager anyway. Like, the narrative's always changing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And what you're saying there is, like, even for Wenger to get sacked eventually, it was just, there was no arses in the seats and they were pretty quick to react then. And it'll all sound like, oh yeah, we support Mikel, and look, Mikel's, don't you know, to be a PR fucking photo shoot bollocks over in Colorado, wherever the fuck he is now. And like, you know, yeah, we love you, Mikel, and we're 110% behind you and all this shite. And then, you know, come May, if there was this, if the Emirates was pretty empty, I'm sure that little photo will get deleted and he's out in the door, out in his ear. You know what I mean? But there's too many people supporting him, and we're not going to get that. You know, we're like, I don't get many Arsenal, buy many Arsenal merchandise, and it's simply down to the fact that I don't support this regime or whatever you want to call it, because it's just not good enough. And like my Man United friends, my Liverpool mates, and all these are sort of, oh, Arsenal are doing okay. Like I always say to people, fuck off. I want you to hate me because I support Arsenal. Because when people hate you for supporting a club, your club must be doing well. You know, Liverpool now on, like, you know, at the minute, because let's say there's more Liverpool supporters in Ireland than there would be Man City. But like, you know, they're walking around with their jerseys on or their coats and like, you know, their merchandise and stuff like that because they're proud of their club. They're challenging. You know, they're in the Champions League. They're going far. I know they're not exactly behind Man City now at the minute, but they're up there. You know, and like, you know, I want Liverpool to be losing games. You know, but you like, you know, you don't see people coming up. Oh, Liverpool played well today. I like the way they played. No, you fucking hate Liverpool because they're challenging, you know. But these clowns that are supporting our club is just the biggest fault as Mikel, Vinay, Edu, the Cronkays. And I don't understand why people are, let's say, the protest that took place, 8 people and a dog who were there, you know, like, let's put Mikel under a bit of pressure because we all know, like, you know, well, I'd say 80% of the fan base know that he's just not good enough as a manager for Arsenal. And I keep saying, I don't want him at the club. It's no offence to the man. And I've nothing personal against him. I don't not like him. I just don't want him managing our club. But there's too many people at this fucking club that, oh God, he looks great on the line. And did you see a celebration the other day? What? I'd rather have a manager that looked like a fucking bag of Mickeys fucking up and down the line than fucking someone who had fake hair dye or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? And like
my man's on the touchline trying to land aeroplanes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we should give him, you know, the old things like that. Bring it in, yeah. Oh, stop! I'll tell you. At least he can get a job doing that, you know. But I just have to this comment here. Yeah, happy that shit talk about Vlahovic is now finally over. Exactly, like, you know what I mean. It's just, you know, I think there were, you know, the way the Arsenal fans are, that always airplane. He was spotted looking for houses in this place and that place. And Jesus, some people really do look for attention, don't they? Like, you know, I was looking at something else and some fella says, oh, my brother's an estate agent in London and Vlahovic's brother was here looking at houses in London. I wonder why. Arsenal incoming. Oh, fuck off. Like, seriously, what's the point in even just writing shite like that? Do you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like I don't swallow it. I go on you know, looking on the websites for sort of news, and you just sort of look at the, like, you know, oh, Vlahovic spotted in London. No, he wasn't. He wasn't, because he was playing over in fucking Fiorentina there the other day, or like, you know, it just really bugs me. But this thing as well that bugs me as well. There's a lot of things that bugs me, but I was I'm not mad about this Arthur Miller, and like, I think Juventus they sort of, well, I don't know if they said it, but I was looking at some sort of rumor or some trend or something like that, and they were saying, Juventus were there saying, yeah, we'll give you him, Arthur, but we want Partey. And like, you know, people losing their shit. How fucking dare they, and bollocks like that. No, if they did that, well done, Juventus. Well done. And the reason why well done is because Arsenal are a joke of a club in Europe. Like, and it's purely the Maitland-Niles thing would sum that right up. Everyone's laughing at us because they're just going, they're short in midfield and they go and get rid of the one player that's available for them. And they give him to Roma, to Jose, who has slagged this club for so many years, always giving Arsenal stick. And we go and and now we're short. So so Juventus had every right to do that. You know what I mean? Fair fucking play to them, I say, because we are a joke. We're run by jokers.
We would have been better off playing Arteta in midfield and putting Lokonga as the manager on the sideline, mate. You know what I mean?
He probably had more. He probably learned more off Vincent Company than fucking Arteta did off Pep. You know what I mean? But what do you think of this Arthur Miller? What would you take him?
Another player again who. How do we know how he's going to settle into the Premier League? I mean, one thing I will say about Arthur Miller is he looked very good at Barcelona. Barcelona obviously got themselves into a bit of debt, ended up having to sell him. Juventus brought him, and he hasn't really ripped up trees at Juventus at all, you know. So I don't know whether he's just not settled in properly into Italy or what it is, but he doesn't look settled there. And the thing that worries me the most is if you can't keep up with the pace of Serie A, how the fuck are you going to keep up with the pace of the Premier League? And not only the pace of the Premier League, the physicality as well. I mean, this guy's what, 5'7", and that's not against, you know, short people, all right? Because look, Lucas Torreira was 5'5" or 5'4" or whatever, and he coped quite well with the physicality. But I don't know, it doesn't really fill me with confidence. Like you said earlier on in the stream, mate, it's the wrong type of player to be going for me. For me, we need a DM. We need somebody like a Basuma, even a Thomas Souček from West Ham. Yeah. You know, somebody like that, somebody big and strong and, you know, just going to rough you up in the midfield and let Thomas Partey, you know, give Thomas Partey a bit more freedom, because that guy, Thomas Partey, he has got quality when he's got a decent midfielder next to him and he can go forward. So we're better off looking for a defensive midfielder. If you play Arthur Melo next to Thomas Partey, I don't think it will work. I really don't.
I'm the same. I think, you know, there's two. Like when he was at Barcelona, yeah, okay, he had a few good games here and there, but he hasn't convinced me at Juventus. And like talented, good players can play in any league when they get settled in. And you know, he should be settled into Juventus. You know, doesn't seem like it's working, and not the right player for me. And as you were saying in the stream here earlier on, like, why not go for an experienced player in Gigi Wijnaldum? Because, as you said, whatever player we buy now with 6-7 days, whatever it is left in the window, I'd rather sign an experienced Premiership player. You know, he'd fit the bill. Just go and get him. He's not getting his game really at PSG, and you know they're not. You know, he's not exactly playing the best either. But give him a few games with Arsenal, you know, he sort of slots back into the Premier League and hopefully can kick on. And I'm just saying this, that I'd rather Basuma, but I don't think you're going to get him right now, because the way Arsenal are being, like, you know, the transfers that we're doing, and like, you know, we're like a headless chicken at the minute. It's just so shit.
There's only one issue with Gini Wijnaldum. I'm hearing rumours that he's actually injured at the moment, so I think that will be the only thing that will stop Arsenal from going for him. But if he wasn't injured, he'd be the perfect player to go for. He can sit there in that midfield and he can tell all our young players, look, I've won a Champions League, I've won the Premier League, I've been there and I've done it. I know what I am doing. I will show you now, and you've got ultimately an experienced player who knows how to win. He's got a winner's mentality. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he would have been the perfect one to come in. But
do you know? I wonder what his injury is. Is he out for a while, or I did hear that as well that he is injured.
I have no idea how long he's out for, but yeah.
It is. Yeah, look, it is the only thing. But like the only thing that I'm thinking of is like Arthur Miller. Like it could take him fucking 6 months to kick in, and be effective, Whereas if Wijnaldum is injured or he's back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever, I'd rather go down that route, But look, the ideal for me is Bissouma. I'd love that guy. I just think he just changes so much. But the way that this club does transfers, he won't be signing in the next 6 to 7 days. Is there any other positions you think we were short in, or if this was, let's say, coming into December and you can start acting like a big club and sort of going, do you know what? We'll start making I'd like to go for him, or I'd like to go for him. Let's start contacting agents here and seeing what the story is.
I think right back is a bit of a worrying position at the moment. I mean, I know we got Chambers and Cedric that can fill in there, but I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm not a massive fan of Tomiyasu, and that's going to sound ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Tomiyasu. For me, he's just a Japanese Wan-Bissaka, mate. He really is. He doesn't go forward. He's not too bad in terms of his aerial duels. He wins headers all day long, which shows, it goes to show that he was a centre-back who's been converted to a right-back. But his one-on-ones are very, very, I would say, sketchy. I can pick out 3 or 4 games at least this season where the guy has been absolutely torn a new arsehole. And there's been goals that we've conceded that have come from his side and him, losing in his 1v1 battles. And not only that, being caught out of position as well. And I kind of mentioned that, funnily enough, on the Football Terrorist. And I don't know whether you see it, mate, but I got clipped up and put on Twitter, and it went viral. And yeah, I've got a lot of abuse for that.
Jesus Christ! I must check. It was on the Football. I must check that out.
80,000 views it had on Twitter, and about 300 quote tweets, and people just giving me loads of shit in the comments. And that's my honest opinion. A lot of people they love Tomiyasu, and I can understand why, but I see straight through it, mate. I know that in a couple of years' time, they're going to be sitting there going, "Yeah, he is just a Japanese Wan-Bissaka."
There you are. Look, you have one admirer. The way I am at the minute, and I've said it, probably in one of my very first videos, even about Ramsdale. People can go on form, let's say have 4, 5, 6 games, and everything they touch is just brilliant. I always like football teams when they get promoted. Sheffield United are a prime example. They came in. Where did they come? The top 10 or something in their first season. Next season they get relegated. Players can have good seasons, and the next season they're shit. So I think proper when you have a look at a new signing. I'm talking about Ramsdale and I'm talking about Tomiyasu. They are still only new at the club. They're only here a few months. They can have a few good games. They can have a few bad games. You have to sort of judge them when the season is over. Right? Was he a good signing? Do we need a new signing in his position to give him more competition for places? Because is he the only fully fledged right back at the club? Is Suarez going to push his position, or is he comfortable knowing that So these are all the factors that have to be like, you know, put into place, and you have to judge these players by that, you know. And like that. I've been saying Ramsdale is playing really well. He's playing good, but I'll judge him in May, and I'll say to myself, right, okay, yeah, he definitely is the number one. He's brilliant. England future international goalie.
Ramsdale, Ramsdale's another one, mate. Who
yeah.
I think you know, he's been exceptional this season. Take nothing away from him. But in recent games, I've started to see him flap at things, you know, like crosses and stuff like that. And he gets caught in no man's land. And
this is exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. You know, now I'm not saying he's shit. When we did sign him, I was fucking. I was actually fuming, being honest with you. And I put my hand up. I'm not into all this. Oh, I told you, I said this back then. Go back to my videos. I couldn't give a fuck if you didn't see me video and if you didn't see that I was the one who said this. You know what I mean? I don't give a bollocks about that. I don't break news on my channel. Oh, let's be the first one out. Did you hear fucking he's signed for the club or he's fucked off? You know what I mean? I don't give a shit about that. I don't really care. But the one thing I am saying is about Ramsdale, and I've said it and I'll say it again, that I'll judge them in May when the season is over. And I'll say, right, okay. And he is a good signing. I'm not saying he's not a good signing. I'm just going to judge him in May when we as a team see where we finish up. Unfortunately for him, he's winning a lot of man of the matches. Brilliant. I'm delighted for him. But that means that he's getting a lot of fucking action in the box. And we're like, you know what I mean? You don't want him being man of the match. And there's no offense to him. You want your striker, your midfielders, your wingers to be the man of the matches. But it's just too many times, you know. But yeah, I completely understand about your Tommy Cafu meltdown. To carve through like Tommy Tofu. He's a fucking brilliant. He has his own weaknesses too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And and sorry, that's about Ramsdale. Yeah, cannot punch the ball properly. And we seen that, like the Burnley game, that could have easily went in when he did hit it, and it banged off. Who was it? Rob Holding it was Rob Holding, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. It banged off, like, you know what I mean? That, like, what would have happened then if that goal went in? It was a calamity by him. You know, you'd have a few people jumping on the bandwagon going, yeah, he fucked up there and blah blah blah. Do you make up the hype, like, as in about Ramsdale or like, you know, what are you thinking?
I'm kind of like you. I think we'll wait and see. I mean, another thing that I'd sort of point out is these are very new players. Like, a lot of we've virtually overhauled a starting 11, pretty much. Definitely a back line, and then the goalkeeper as well. So these players like Ramsdale, like Tomiyasu, even Ben White, are coming into Arsenal from clubs that are nowhere near as big as Arsenal. So of course you're gonna, you know, be trying your absolute best, and you're going to be throwing out the best performances you possibly can in the first year at Arsenal. And we've seen it with Ramsdale. Ramsdale's been exceptional. Take nothing away from him. But again, we'll see in May. It depends, you know. With Ramsdale, what I will say is he's saved us a hell of a lot of points this season.
Yeah.
And that's what you expect from your goalkeeper. So, yeah, this season, I would say Aaron Ramsdale been very good. But can he do it season in, season out? I don't know. We'll see.
What you just mentioned it there, Ben White. Like, did you see the comment he made after the game? Like, you know, at least it was another clean sheet. Like, I got a new phone last week. I very nearly got the fucking thing and smashed it into about 1,000 fucking thousand pieces, because that drove me fucking mad. And that, to me, like, I'm 38 years of age, and people that follow me a lot will know I started supporting Arsenal in 1989. So I've seen a lot of, like, winning titles and all this stuff, and leaders at our club, leaders. And then I see that fucking bullshit of a comment. Why? Why the fuck does that have to be in the comment? Like, why do you have to put it out on social media? Is that going to change my fucking view on you? Yes, it fucking is. Because I want to win titles. You know what I mean? But this bullshit, oh, what'll I say? Thanks to the fans today. No, you're thanking the fucking 10% of fans that are fucking arseholes and who believe that Arteta is Arteta, like, that becoming a Jesus Christ on a football pitch. You know what I mean? Like, why does he need to do that? Surely someone in the club should even just go, here, mate, take that fucking down, you clown. You know what I mean? But no, oh yeah, yes, come on, team, let's go. We can what? It's like fucking, I have 3 kids, and it's like, if they come home with, oh, sports day yesterday, look, I got a competitor's medal. Fuck it in the bin. I don't want to see that bullshit. Oh, you can be participated in the little leg and spoon race. Did you win? No. Well, fuck that in the bin. Piss off. I don't want to see it. You know what I mean? That's what Ben White is. He's a little fucking, oh, mammy, look, I participated in the Arsenal leg and spoon race. Mikel won. I came last, but we got a little competitor's medal. Fuck off. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. You probably come on for a quiet chat. I haven't been streaming or fucking done a video in a few days. I have a lot of shit to get off my mind.
No, I love it, mate. I love it. Just bring that energy. Exactly.
Yeah, big up Carlos, a real one. But it's just like these players. They have, like, it's the mentality of the club, and it has to be, because, like, why do I need to say anything? If that's me, like I'm a fan, I had nothing to do with the game. But I just wanted to just not even look at Arsenal news the other day because we drew with Burnley at home. And that's no disrespect to the Burnley. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, talking about Arsenal here. It's just fucking, have a bit of fucking balls about you, lads. Don't put that up. You don't need to be, oh, I'm famous. Let's see how many likes I get or whatever. Like, fuck off. Like, Jesus Christ. Say nothing is better. It speaks volumes. You know what I mean? Not this bullshit and a picture of himself. Fuck off. Sorry, I'm getting wound up now. Jesus Christ.
It's Arsenal all over, though. Even down to, the whole PR thing. Like, we brought out a kit that, we wore against Nottingham Forest, with the slogan "No More Red," to fight against knife crime. And then for the 3 games after that, we're receiving red cards left to right and centre. And it's like, no more red. Sent off, sent off, sent off. Like, ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for fuck's sake. Look, come here, it was a good cause and all that stuff, but there was more fucking build up about that jersey than there was the game. You know what I mean? And that, to me, like, I don't know if you've seen any of my streams, but I'm pretty pissed off about fucking to losing the Forest. And as again, I'll say it again, no disrespect to Forest, but you shouldn't be losing the Forest. There was just too much made of the jersey and all the sort of stuff. Forest is just there laughing, going, look at these fucking arseholes. Because they're not only Juventus or any other club in Europe, clubs in the fucking Championship are just going, look at these fucking arseholes coming down here thinking, oh, let's promote our new jersey and all this. No, there's a time to do that. There's a time to be charitable and do stuff like that. Not in the middle of a season, because you're taking the fucking piss out of every fan that went to that game for Arsenal fans who take days off work, had to probably miss a day of work, had to pay train fares, fuel, fucking flights, all shit like that. And they took the piss out of them. And they're the Arsenal fans that really don't deserve that, because they go to home and away games. And that, to me, really fucking boils me blood.
They should change the slogan, really. When they was doing the little video for it, they should have said, no more red to knife crime. No more reds, Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, that's what it should have been. Yeah, fucking Egypt. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, like, seriously, mate, like, about him, what would you do with him? Like what needs to be done with Xhaka?
What would I do to him? Drop kick him in the face and just literally put him in the boot of my car and drive him across like the edge of the earth. That is what I would do with this guy, because it's like this guy, more than anything, is probably the biggest representation of what Arsenal is right now. You know,
Yeah.
he gets away with so much. Do you know what I mean? Like, sent off how many times now for Arsenal? It's ridiculous. You know, he gets away with not even having to apologise to the fans. And then when he does apologise to the fans, he comes out in an interview 2 days later and tries to just like, oh, well, you know, it's who I am. Just sweep it under the carpet. You're a bellend, mate. You know what I mean? Like, and that, to me, and the fact that Mikel Arteta put his trust in this guy as well, shows to me that Mikel Arteta and Granit Xhaka, it ain't because of Granit Xhaka's footballing ability that he's in the team. It's because they're very, very similar in terms of their personality. And do you know what I mean? Like, Granit Xhaka is very arrogant. Mikel Arteta is very arrogant. I just think like they probably get on so well to like as people that Mikel Arteta just automatically picks him like it's one of his favourites, and that tells me as well that Mikel Arteta is a bellend, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean. But like well suited, you know, well suited to each other, and it's just like the like it's probably slowing down one or two players at the club to sort of express themselves, or like, you know, he's probably sort of a bully around the places in yeah, look, I can get away with this and I can get away with that, and like, you know, players are probably going, you're a fucking arsehole, man. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say that because Granite will fucking, like, you know, rat to the manager about me or something like that, you know. And it's just so annoying. But yeah, you're right. He's just a fucking arsehole, if you ask me. Like, it's just too many times that he's doing this, you know, in big games, you know what I mean, when you need him or whatever. Like, you know, he just, to me, I don't see what he does for the club, you know, and I don't think he compliments Partey, if you know what I mean. I think Partey has to do a bit more because he's there, you know, and Partey can't play or do what he did at Atletico, you know, and that's the Partey that I want at Arsenal. And yeah. I think it's down to him, because when the two of them don't, you know, they're just not gelling together, and it's really is doing me head in. Arteta and Xhaka, two pricks in a pod, sucking each other off. Exactly. I just want to read this out. We have fans saying, I condemn the club for trying to sign Vlahovic. LOL. The mentality of some fans. Losers, honestly. You match a 10 out of 10 on Tinder. Showed your pal. Never poked. What's there to get giddy about? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just, look, I'm not going to hold my breath, and I don't think we're going to have many signings in 6 days. You know, is there any signings that we've even talked about that you think we can get over the line in 6 days, 7 days, whatever it is?
Does Kim Kallstrom still play football?
Yeah, he's in a fucking Zimmer frame, and he has one of them, you know, them fucking old agony ants that goes up the stairs, them little fucking things. You know what I mean? Come here. It just, that sums up Arsenal as well. You know what I mean? But with this team that they have formed, I just cannot see getting over the line these players. You know, like, we signed a player. It was a 17-year-old left back, I think it was, for the youth team. Like, I don't understand why this isn't, like, you know, put to the fucking as an emergency, because that's what it is. We're just a joke. We're so short, it's unbelievable. And to sign these players should have been signed before we went to 2 weeks ago. But before we went to Dubai, you get them gelled in together, get them to know each other, have a laugh, blah blah blah. But no, and if that's not even going to happen 2 weeks ago, you should be getting Guendouzi back, getting Torreira back, getting one of them back. You know what I mean? And hands down, they'd walk into the team right now. I don't care what anyone says. 100% walk into the team right now. Out of them two, which one would you take back first?
Guendouzi.
Yeah,
Purely not even so much on his footballing ability, but more because he has that mentality, that winning mentality. He, you know, he ain't afraid to get in players' faces if he needs to. He isn't afraid to do the dirty work. He isn't afraid to do all of that, if he needs to. And that to me shows a bit of a winning mentality. Not only that, he's a French national as well, and we're selling this guy for 10 million. 10 million pound.
I'm just hoping that Marseille get the transfer ban and they can't actually, make it happen, because that's a disgrace. That is a disgrace, and that just sums up Arsenal there and then. They're getting rid of this guy, and I'd say in 10 years he'll have a World Cup medal or a European medal. You know what I mean? And because he has the potential to be that good. He certainly, if he keeps going the way he's going now, he is going to be a French international. May not be a starter, but he'll be hanging around the squad. I can guarantee you that. And he's not good enough for our midfielder at the minute. But granted, Xhaka is. Says everything. Says everything. What do you have coming up? What's your plans?
Not much, to be fair. We haven't got a game until 10th of February now against Wolves, so it's just going to be obviously keeping up with transfers and doing the odd transfer video. Of course, you're coming on my channel later on this week, guys. Anybody who is watching, make sure you head over. We will let you know when that's going to be, and that's about it, really, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to enjoy this break of having to rant and talk crap about my football team because they're just diabolical. Do you know what I mean? It's not nice. It's nice to get it off your chest and talk to other Arsenal fans, other football fans, but to constantly be ranting and raving about your team and that, it just drains you. Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing, we done for the Liverpool game, me Northside, we done a watch along, and Josh was sort of bouncing in and out because he was at the game. But but when it started, we both said I thought it was going to be 2-1. Northside I think said 2-1 as well. And we were being positive, trying to be positive. But fuck me, the club just kick you right in the nuts then and just sort of say, no, get back down to fucking earth. We're fucking clowns, and I feel, and I want to thank everyone in the chat and you, Brandon, for coming on, because I'll tell you, I was like a fucking stressed out animal. You know what I mean? I needed all this shit. So you're all doing me mental health, everything really good, But I'm going to be dropping a few videos here and there and doing a few live streams over this fucking break or whatever you want to call it, because look, I'm just an Arsenal fan, and I keep saying to people, I'm just a fucking idiot in a bar, in my own bar in Dublin. You know what I mean? I don't know more than anyone else, but I'm going to try and do a live stream nearly every day, or I'll certainly be doing videos and stuff like that. And like that, we're going to be doing a video with yourself as well, talking about more transfers. And I think I've been very calm tonight. You know what I mean? If there's people here that go, calm, he's a fucking lunatic, this fella. Yeah, I am. And if you want to see more, every fucking day that goes by that we don't sign someone, I'll be getting wound up more and more and more. This is what this club does to me. I'm trying to be positive. I love this club. I'm passionate about this club, and I want them to succeed. I want us to challenge. At the minute, we are fucking challenging for the milk cup of Europe, probably. We're the fucking laughing stock of Europe. You know what I mean? And it's just, I think I need to relieve a lot of Arsenal fans as well. So I'll bring on some streams and I'll just go, yeah, here, this fella's a lunatic, but what can we do? So look, guys, if you're not subscribe True Gunners, get on to Brandon, follow him on Twitter. Just, do you want to shout out your Twitter and all that stuff?
Yeah, do you know what? I can't remember what my Twitter handle is. So I can't remember, but I think it's in the description.
description and
YouTube channel.
the about section on your channel. So look, there it is there, guys. Sorry, there. Check it out and subscribe, like the video as well. And yeah, we're going to be doing stuff, and I'm going to be doing something every day. I'm going to even just drop a video after this as well, so check that out as well. And yeah, look, Arteta out. Thanks everyone for watching. Cheers.
Arteta out.